This program is produced by the volunteers of Tellico Village Broadcasting. Welcome to another Loudon County Commission update with our chairman of the Loudon County Commission, Henry Cullen.
Good morning, Elliot.
Morning, Henry. How about the jail update?
Okay, let me take you through where we are in the jail. If any of you have driven past the jail on 11 by Sugar Limb, you will notice that the progress is coming along just fine. They're getting set to pour the floor. And I have to tell you, that is a big step in the overall construction. If we were going to hit any problem, it would have been in the fill and the earth moving phase of construction. We came through that without an oops. An oops is, we hit a garbage dump. We hit a burial ground. We hit a sinkhole. We were so lucky it went along just smoothly. So far, we haven't had to dip into the oops fund, and that's the money we set aside for problems. I urge you, take a ride by, take a look at it. It's coming along extremely well. We were hoping for September 2019. It looks like it'll hit between September and possibly January 2020. But we are on target. Things are going fine. One of the things we did was for the kitchen and the laundry, we pulled out of the total bid the cost of the equipment. We thought we could do better by bidding it ourselves. We did just that. We opened the bids this week. We saved a considerable amount of money. So I'm thrilled at the way it's going. And for information for your next hand and foot game, 5 crowns, whatever you do, mahjong, there are 208 guests in the Guider Bed and Breakfast as of last week. And remember, we're rated for 90 inmates.
The Guider Bed and Breakfast.
Yep, that's on Sugar Limb.
That sounds great, Henry. And I have seen the progress that they've made riding by 11 at the Justice Center there, so it looks great. How about the Loudon County Fire and Rescue? Bring us up to speed on the latest there.
As you go by the new jail facility, you will notice that the Loudon County Fire and Rescue have their trucks parked out in front. The issue with the wall, that's the back part of the jail, is butting right up against their old fire station. Fortunately, they went out and purchased land on Sugar Limb and I-75, and they're looking to move from where they are now to their new facility. And I'll tell you what happened. In order to grade their new piece of land, we moved the dirt from there to the new jail site where we needed fill. So, what we're waiting for is a cost estimate from Chief Hart as to what the construction will cost, and then we'll have to look for some additional funds to help them out so they can build their new facility. Once they're moved out of that facility, the bulldozer will go through their old facility. It'll be loaded out and hauled off, smoothed out, and right now it'll probably be parking, but down the road it'll be available space for that whole complex. They own the land under which the building sits, and part of the agreement with the fire department is they will deed the property over to the county, and we will help them out with the new facility. So if you wondered why the trucks are out front, that is why.
Now you know. Okay. Project Z, we talked about that in last month's report, and is there an update there?
I'm going to tell you where we stand on that. Some people have asked me, is that a Chinese phone company, P-H-O-N-E? And no, it's a foam, F-O-A-M. They make mattresses, pillows, and what have you. It's still on track. They haven't pulled out as far as we know, so we're looking forward to going ahead and closing on that and getting that piece of property sold at Center 75 and put that land to good use. It represents about $2+ million for the county and Loudon City. Remember, we share Center 75 with Loudon City and Loudon County. So it's still on track. It hasn't closed yet. Don't think it's going to change. I'll let you know when it finally does close.
Now I guess we're on the zoning changes. Some upcoming zoning changes.
Okay, what's happening right now is Commissioner Van Shaver, Commissioner Adam Waller are working with the Planning Commission to change some of the zoning regulations. For instance, if you wanted to appeal in a zoning decision, you would have to go to the Board of Zoning Appeals. That'll cost you $100. We think those type fees are an undue burden on the residents of Loudon County. So Adam and Van Shaver are working to get some changes done, get rid of some of the burden of some fees, and change some of the, what I call the outdated regulations. So that's where that stands. If you read it in the News Herald, that's what it's all about.
Once again, trying to save the Loudon County taxpayers, excuse me, an undue expense. Okay, Henry, now we're up to the Loudon County records retention.
Okay, you're going to read something about this, I'm sure, in the News Herald either this Wednesday or next Wednesday, depending when Jeremy writes the article. General Caldwell, he's a 2-star general, he lives in Loudon County, has brought to our attention that the historian that we have is wanting to retire, and we should have an archives person. Well, he proposed a burdensome, what I call another county department. Department head, 3 employees, office space, computers. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think next workshop in the middle of November, we will establish a new historian for Loudon County. As far as the person in charge of the archives, that's up for discussion. But that's where that's going in case you read about it in the paper.
Okay. And now our favorite company for picking up trash, Santec.
They just went by the house this morning at 6 o'clock. You're going to read a lot of discussion in the paper this week. I'm sure Jeremy Nash will be writing his poor fingers off putting this article together. But we have an agreement with Santec, and it doesn't involve the county commission. Remember, we have a solid waste commission. Our representative from Tellico Village is Bruce Hamilton. And what they are doing in 2007, the county enacted a contract with Santex to handle the waste for the county. And for your information and for another piece of trivia for your hand and foot game, we generate about 500 tons of trash a day. So what they're doing is looking to extend the contract out, and in return for that, Santec is willing to make some concessions. To me, it's a win-win for the county, because I don't know what you're going to do with 500 tons of trash every day. And to transfer it to another landfill, the cost would be prohibitive. So they're working on that. You'll read a lot about it. To me, it's a win-win for the county and for Santec. Understand, Santec's a corporation. They're in business for a profit, and they do a great job as far as I'm concerned.
Now, in terms of the solid waste that Santec puts there in the landfill, let me ask you a question. What happens to the recyclables that Santec picks up?
They go off to Knoxville and they get sorted in a facility down there and recycled. That's what happens to them.
Okay, so it doesn't stay within the county at all. It
takes
takes a ride to the next county.
It takes a ride down there. There's a big sorting facility. They dump it. The milk cartons go one way, cans go one way, and whatever else.
Man, what an operation.
Well, the recyclables generate some income.
I guess. It's too bad we're not able to get some of that, right?
That's an issue.
Now, the Libor Fund.
Okay, the LIBOR Fund is
LIBOR
based
Fund.
in London, England. You'll read about this in the paper. And here's what happened. We have some outstanding debt, and it involves the school building project. The LIBOR Fund in London establishes the interest rate. And they do it by trading on the world currency market. And it's how the dollar trades against the Deutschmark, the pound, the yen, and all the various currencies. Well, Deutsche Bank out of Germany conspired with the LIBOR Fund to artificially inflate the interest rate. And guess what? Through a bank in Georgia, and that's in America, Georgia, south of us, the interest rates were artificially high. The LIBOR Fund and the Deutsche Bank in Germany got sued. The settlement was substantial. Our share of the payback on that overcharge is $150,000. So that kind of is a windfall for the county. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's going to be by check next week or the week after, but we are entitled to the funds. We entered into the agreement. We'll vote on it in November and send it off to the county attorney. So that was a plus that came up last night.
Boy, I guess. That's a nice plus to have in the piggy, isn't it?
And there's two more banks that are being sued that will probably be involved in a settlement from them also.
Wow, another potential windfall, Henry.
That's it.
Gee.
Hey, we'll take it. We'll take every opportunity we get like that.
How about the next 2 months, Henry, in the commission? What's it look like?
Well, we're going to head into November and December, and there's usually a lull. I don't see anything on the horizon that's going to blow up, but after you say that, it'll blow up right in your face. But the next 2 months should be a lull. We'll conduct the usual county business. But right after the first of the year, the budget cycle starts for 2018-19. So we'll be back working on the budget. My goal is to keep the tax rate steady without an increase. I'll bring you up to speed as we get further into the budget cycle.
We thank our chairman of the Loudon County Commission, Henry Cullen, a good friend to Tellico Village, a great friend to Loudon County.
And everybody, thank you.
This has been a production of Tellico Village Broadcasting. We thank you so much for tuning in to watch.